Hola. Hey, how you doing? I'm just testing the process of using YouTube to trade live. Yeah, just let me know what you want me to cover. I'm just kind of testing things out. You're the boss. Can you hear me? Maybe not, huh? I don't know. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. If you can hear me, just type in 1, 2, 3. Maybe not, huh? I don't know. Okay, how about this? If you hear me now, type in 4, 5, 6. And thanks again for your help and your patience. Oh, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so we got everything set up fine. Be interesting to see if we can get through this lower low. Well, I guess maybe I should put some music on. What do you think? Maybe background noise. Put on some CNBC. Suppose that makes a lot more sense. Hey, do you attend my my events that I do live every day?
Quotes and pre-market action.
My regular webinars?
Hooked on the markets? A new way to check on the latest news, analysis, and video.
Sentiment is pretty neutral.
Want it your way? Customize your information you want. Download the CNBC app for Android now.
On Access Middle East, Jordan looks to capitalize on its natural resources. From traditional industry
We have engineering solutions, not only engineering products.
to innovative technology,
Solar energy cost has dropped. So now it's given actually traditional fossil fuel a run for its money.
entrepreneurs are leading the way.
It's an unofficial economy within an unofficial city.
It is letting people find the sense of normalcy.
That's all coming up on Access Middle East.
Stream path field, this one here. Now going back to YouTube, you go to
I'm getting for another 5-minute cycle.
Hi everybody, good afternoon. You're now watching European Closing Bell. I'm Louise de Boyes and these are headlines today. Hollande heads to Washington. The French president is to push for a global coalition against ISIS at a meeting with Obama next week before traveling on to Moscow. Now this happening as the manhunt for a key suspect for Friday's attacks intensifies. Russia has vowed to step up its fight against ISIS after the FSB confirmed that a terrorist bomb was the cause of a Russian jetliner crash in Sharm el-Sheikh. And investors, though, seemingly shaking off any worries about the escalating geopolitical tensions. You would have noted a strong rally for European stocks today, which are set to close near session highs. Hi everybody, welcome to the program today. We are just starting here at the top of the hour, just showing you a live shot from Paris with many mourners flocking to the sites where some of the atrocities took place on Friday, laying flowers. Paris continues to be in mourning, as does France, and we'll continue to get more analysis on the happenings here throughout the rest of the show. But the latest on the story today, though, well, German police, they now say that they've arrested 5 people in connection with the Paris attacks. The arrests, they were made near Germany's border with Belgium and the Netherlands. 3 of the people arrested were foreign citizens. A manhunt is currently underway for one of the suspected attackers, who's believed to have escaped from Belgium, from Paris. And he's been named as the 26-year-old Salem Abdeslam, a Belgian-born French national. Now, the French president, François Hollande, he is set to step up high-level discussions with world powers next week. Now, it's been confirmed that he will travel to Washington on the 24th of November to meet with President Obama and then move on to Moscow on the 26th of November to meet with President Putin. Focus now has also returned to the Russian jetliner which crashed when flying out of the Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh last month. Russia has now vowed to step up its fight against ISIS after the country's FSB security agency confirmed that a terrorist bomb was the cause of the crash.
After having examined personal items, baggage and parts of the plane that crashed in Egypt on October 31st, expertise revealed signs of an explosive of foreign production. According to our experts, a homemade explosive device equivalent to 1 kilogram of TNT went off on board, which caused the plane to break up in the air, which explains why the fuselage was scattered over such a large territory. I can certainly say that this was a terrorist act.
Now, Egypt's government is still pushing back on the idea that the bomb brought the jet down, saying that there is currently no evidence that any criminal action had taken place. This after reports suggested that 2 airport workers had been detained in connection with the crash, which killed everyone on board. Now, that's according to sources speaking to Reuters, who also say that a CCTV image shows a baggage handler carrying a suitcase from an airport building and handing it to another man who put it on the aircraft. Egypt's interior minister denies that any airport staff had been detained. Now, the UK Prime Minister David Cameron has said that Britain must do more to tackle the growing threat of ISIS. Speaking to the House of Commons members, Cameron appeared to lay the groundwork for a vote on extending military action in Syria. The UK PM announced that he will set out a comprehensive strategy to tackle ISIS, saying that he would personally respond to a Foreign Affairs Select Committee report, which argued against further military action.
My firm conviction is that we need to act against ISIL in Syria. There is a compelling case for doing so. It is for the government, I accept, to make that case to this House and to the country. I can therefore announce that as a first important step to do so, I will respond personally to the report of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee. I will set out our comprehensive strategy for dealing with ISIL, our vision for a more stable and peaceful Middle East. But I believe, as I've said many times before, we should be doing more. We face a direct and growing threat to our country, and we need to deal with it, not just in Iraq, but in Syria too. I've always said there's a strong case for us doing so. Our allies are asking us to do this, and the case for doing so has only grown stronger after the Paris attacks. We cannot expect, we should not expect, others to carry the burdens and the risks of protecting our country.
Now, the UK Chancellor George Osborne, he says that Islamic State militants are now trying to develop the ability to launch deadly cyber attacks on UK targets like air traffic control or hospitals. Today, the Finance Minister announced that he is set to double UK funding to fight cybercrime over the next 5 years. Announcing the measure, he suggested that the funding would not purely be spent on defensive measures.
The threats to our country in cyberspace come from a range of places, from individual hackers to criminal gangs to terrorist groups and hostile powers. To all of them, I have a clear message. We will defend ourselves. We will also take the fight to you.
Well, joining us now is David Lee, a senior Europe analyst from Control Risks. Welcome, David.
Hello.
And also with us for the full hour is our guest host, Erik Nielsen, global chief economist from Munich Credit. Welcome.
Good to be here.
David, let's kick off the discussion with you and talk a little bit about these latest measures announced from the UK Chancellor. I mean, we heard there a little bit of the last part of it was that we're not only looking at defensive measures. So if we're not only looking at defensive measures, does that mean we should anticipate the UK to become offensive? Will the UK become offensive in its own cyber attacks?
I think there are a number of forms that the action that Osborne suggests might take, be that greater investigation and greater pursuit powers and cooperation with international law enforcement agencies in other countries, through to, as you say, some other measures of that nature yourself.
So what type of a difference would an upping of the money spent on cybercrimes make? I mean, does this make a big difference over the next 5 years?
I think the message we've received from the people who are trying to fight cybercrime and cyber jihadism is that resourcing is a big issue. Now, that's not an unusual message to hear from any sector of the public sector in the UK, so that's a fairly familiar message. But I think it's very much true on this occasion, and the fight against state-sponsored actors, cyber criminals and cyber jihadists is something that's going to take more and more resources over the years to come.
Can anything be done in the near term? Is this something that's going to be a long-term fight? I mean, how are we supposed to think about cyber terrorism, about the potential of a cyber terrorist attack, and how close are we to something like this potentially happening?
It's difficult to say how close we are. There are clearly actors out there who are seeking to cause an incident of this nature. There are also huge efforts being made to stop that on the part of government agencies and also on the part of private businesses who may be implicated in this. There are clearly, it's as in virtually every other field of terrorism, it's a long-term fight and a cat-and-mouse fight as well.
How do we view some of the latest findings that we now know that the passport fine could potentially be a fake passport? I mean, other things have emerged over the last 24 hours. I mean, how are you viewing this from where you sit?
The passport, I always thought, had the potential to be a fake from the beginning. There's a huge market in fake Syrian and other passports going on in Turkey and elsewhere. So I was never convinced by the passport story. A lot of erroneous stories get published in the first 48 hours, some of them seemingly quite well sourced. after a terrorist attack of this nature. So I think as the situation develops, we had the news yesterday that there's fingerprint evidence to back that up, but again, the trail seems to have gone a little bit quiet on that.
And Eric, and then of course there's zero market reaction. I mean, today, hardly any market reaction. Yesterday, in fact, we're sitting very close to an inter-session high with a real rally happening across Europe. We're up by 2.25%.
Right.
Do we continue to buy equities? Are we, we're not scared of geopolitics?
No.
No.
No, I think that's right. I mean, it's tragic what happens for sure, right? And I, if you had asked me on Sunday, I would have thought that you would have a dip on Monday. But it's good to see the market cruises through it, because fundamentally, right, the fair value of assets, whatever you get, does not change with this, and the momentum of the recovery doesn't really change with it either. So there's always a fear factor, I would have thought, but it seemed like almost it was non-existent, which is, from the financial markets perspective, is very rewarding.
Well, a lot of people yesterday, they were speculating that we might be looking at this buying on the dips notion heading forward, right? So,
from that point of view, I wrote this myself on Sunday, that I would be the first to buy on dips, because I didn't think that there's any fundamental change, but the dip never came.
Yeah.
Can't handle it. Wow, it just will refuses to go below that 1382. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Yeah, it looks like London Close is taking some money out of the market. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Yeah, it looks like London Close is taking some money out of the market. Say. Yeah, well, you're right, but if you're going to buy that, you shouldn't do the other one, right? See, I'm already net short, so I can't get out of euro dollar. I mean, I know there's a double bottom there, but I'm going to ride it out. It was just something I chose to do earlier. You know, it's just part of the trade plan. So I know it's there. And I've made the decision to hold. You can see my entry there. I got lots of room to breathe. So I'm gonna trade it like a range, I suppose, and drag out my support and resistance lines. Okay. So I suppose if you're taking the long, then it's going to come up into the weekly support and then hopefully stay short off the hourly 21. But it is, you know, the market is closing, right? So. All right, that's looking good for me. Come on, Bubba, break it. Come on. Yeah, I'm still sitting on 360 pips. But like my mama always told me, 400 pips is better. Moment of truth. Unfortunately, it's right at the London close. So, Andreas, did you buy it? Uh-oh, we got a battle. What I was saying before, you made a call on Aussie dollar down. Well, if Aussie dollar falls down, then euro dollar is going to go down too. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Come on, euro. A lot of support, though. I don't blame you buying it down there. It's just a swing trade to me, so I'm not going to get out on a spot support. All right, it's not a fast bounce up. Yeah, I think I'd even be more worried around the weekly pivot. Up. See, what bothers me the most is if this wasn't a swing trade, I'd probably bail on this, right at the London close. All right, little bouncy bounce. We're only talking a couple of pips here and there. Like I said, truly it's really ranging now going into the London close, but it's trended really nicely. Hey, for those watching on Forex.Today, refresh your page and see if you like that better. S&P 500 caught on the hourly 200 EMA. Say something, I'll give it up on you. There's your bouncy, Andreas. Or Andrea. There you go. Or Andrea. Or Andre. Okay, back into the top of the little micro zone. I don't know, I'm looking at the dollar index and it looks like it wants to try to rise here. It's kicking off the 4-hour 21 to the upside. All right, come on, Bubba. Come on, Euro. Get her done. All right, that's a good start, isn't it? Right at the London close, too. It closes in 90 seconds. Break, 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 break. Come on, Bubba. No. Look at that. Yeah, nothing in the last couple of minutes has happened on the dollar index. So this is just euro. This is Europeans getting out at the end of the day. It's funny how we're testing to the exact pip, the bottom, at exactly the London close. Funny how, like a clown. S&P 500, Oscar Mike. That should be good for USD. Can't believe I missed that by 2 points. 2 points! All right, here we go. Come on, please, please, please. Yeah! Booyah! Lovely. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. That's a few more pips right at the close. 370. Lovely. With your smile so warm and your teeth so green. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Cool, man. That's a 40 pip New York so far. So our range on New York has surpassed the London range. It's a pretty good day. So what do you think? Can we go down and tickle 105.80? 106 even? Yeah? Cool. What do you think? Retest? Possible roll reversal on the way? Okay, I'm going to put my oscillator back, and I'm going to cycle over to the 5 minute. And I'm going to readjust my my fib. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit more on my 15. I want to keep an eye on the moving average. So just got to adjust some things as we move along. Okay, there's the retest. How are you going to play it? Okay. Notice how everyone's out of the market just like that. That was the last candle of trading. Isn't that funny? That's the last candle of trading in the European session. Hey, can you guys still hear me? Just approaching 52 minutes of the test. No? It's all dead now? I lost you? Well, I guess I'll pull the plug then if it's not working. Oh, the Forex.Today people are catching it. Well, that's good. It's funny, the test that I'm running on Forex.Today doesn't seem to be working. Oh yeah, well that works. It was on some other page, I guess. Is anybody actually watching on YouTube? Andrea, you still around? All right, there's that second chance. Lovely. No, Sylvester, you're on both YouTube and on Forex.Today, huh? All right, nice little move here. Kicking off the 15-minute 5. New candle coming up in 2.5 minutes. Okay, will we get through the weekly M1? Boy, oh boy. Yeah, still stuck on 370 pips. Nice. New lower low. Okay, right on that weekly pivot. And it's a reversal pivot too. But up in the top corner, I'm watching the S&P 500. And it tried to get through, but we're at pretty obvious resistance here. So if I was a bear on the S&P, I'd be dumping it right now. I mean, what more do you want, for crying out loud, huh? Well, yeah, if the Dixie goes up, and it seems like it's trying to, then yeah, gold should come down. Yeah. Yeah, another breakout retrace. Again, pretty easy setup. Looking at oil. Let me get rid of that. That sets up the lower low, lower high scenario. I didn't adjust my fibs yesterday. Still. It seems pretty nervous in here, I think. If I zoom in, that doesn't look incredibly bearish. I'd be cautious in here. Yeah, well, yeah, you know, I wouldn't trade it that way. I mean, you're right. You could trade it like an inverse head and shoulders, but you know, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the fundamentals more than an inverse head and shoulders. But I'll tell you what. Look, I've been running this test for an hour. Seems like it'll work fine. I need to go eat. It's noon and I'm starving. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thanks for hanging out on Forex.Today. Yeah, the only issue is I don't know how to shut it off now. How do I do it? It's funny, it just scrolls me down to somewhere else. Yeah, I guess I'll figure it out. Anybody know? Clicking the live, I just click the stop. Well, we'll try it this way.